Hi everybody, welcome to Making a Graphic Novel. My name is Alicia Dianne, sorry there, I'm like below. But my name is Alicia Dianne. I'm happy to be here with you and to share with you my process for making this graphic novel that I'm so excited. And I want to say should, but I know it's not necessarily good to like judge yourself and say like I should be here or I should be there. But I would have preferred to be a little bit further along in my process, but sometimes you just have to work with your own pace, and there's been so many things that continue to happen in life. But that set aside, we're going to work with what we have. We're going to keep on going and keep on moving, and I am encouraged to be here with you and to share with you what I'm doing. So, flip my camera view, and let's clear that up because it's a little bit fuzzy, a lot fuzzy. That looks a lot better. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can get it any clearer. I think that's about as clear as we're going to get it. But let's go ahead and finish the details on this one. This is spread number 30. 30 and the second part to spread 30. So it looks like I finished with most of my thick line, but let's see, what are we going to discuss today? I suppose there's several things that we could get into. Let me think. I definitely am going through like some different transitions. I don't want to like put a negative thing, but I feel like I need to talk about what's kind of going on in my life at the same time. Last week my husband's brother passed away, and it was expected, but at the same time it was a shock because he was really young still. He was only 43, but he'd been hospitalized for the last several weeks due to kidney and liver issues. So it wasn't COVID that got him in the hospital, or that took him out. It's just the issues with his organs, and I don't know. It's a lot. My husband is out of town right now because he's there with the family for the funeral and all of the things that go along with that, and I would have liked to have gone, of course. I feel like kind of weird that I'm not there because, I mean, unfortunately we've gone to several funerals together, just relatives that have passed in the last several years. So this is the first time that out of, I want to say 4 or 5 times that I haven't been able to go with him. So I feel a little bit weird about that. But anyway, that's what's happening right now in my life. He's doing alright though. He's doing alright. It's not easy. My husband is Lakota, Navajo, if I haven't talked to you about that already. So he's actually on a reservation right now, and they don't have really good phone service, so I don't know that he'll be able to see this video or not. But if you do see this video, just know that I'm thinking about you and hoping that everything is going alright. So that's kind of what's happening in my life right now. It's sad that our family is like such in different parts of the, I was going to say world, but it's not world, it's the country, but it feels like the world. When you live on one side of the country and your relatives are on another side of the country, it can feel really like a whole other planet because you don't see them. So unfortunately, this particular brother I'd only met once, and his other brothers that were closer to where we were living before in Albuquerque. I've met them many times, but this one, I only met him once. It's weird when you lose people, especially when you have family that loses people and you don't really know how to be like the most supportive you can be. I think it's more along the lines of just actually being there when you can and being supportive. I think if you're just kind of silent and they never hear from you, it's probably the worst situation that you can put yourself in. I think definitely just making your support known, just the fact that you're available, making your availability known, constantly be the one to reach out. And I'm saying that and I'm like, I should be doing that more. I should be reaching out more, because I'm so used to letting my husband just come and reach out to me. And I don't know how much I talked about this, but he lost his mother last fall to COVID, and that was totally other situation. It was really crazy and unexpected, and you know, it was just sad. But I don't know, I think I felt more at that time. I was with him the whole time, so, and I was continually just offering as much support, and so I felt like I did as much as I could do myself. But I don't know, I think this time around I should do more, but I don't know what to do. So it's so ironic, because that story that I was working with in freelance that, you know, was just put out not too long ago, it was all about that. It was all about like dealing with loss in your family, but it was from a child's perspective and how like a child would cope with it, which is kind of sad, because his brother did have one child, and the son was he's only like 4 years old, so I don't know how a child that young can process it, losing a parent. I mean, I guess it might be easier than, I think, maybe like a 12-year-old, but I don't know. I don't want to say easier. That feels like insensitive. I want to say like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It's just a difficult situation to be in, and I have not lost anyone that close to me since I lost my grandfather in 2003. But you know, God forbid, I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want to lose any family or relatives anytime soon. You know? But I just wanted to bring that up, because I felt like I can't really be authentic if I don't talk about what's happening right now in my life. It's so much on my mind, especially with how recent it all is, and you know, just hearing from my husband yesterday saying that, you know, they're on the reservation in South Dakota in Pine Ridge, you know, and they're just like, I don't know, it sounds so morbid to say, but they actually had to dig the grave themselves yesterday, and it's just so, I don't know, it's hard. How do you deal with stuff like that, having to do things like that? But I don't know. I mean, thankfully you're surrounded with family, but it is like, it does make you think, like, when even if it's not directly to you or someone, you know, that you're very, very close to, always when you hear about someone that's, you know, in range of you and even your age group, kind of makes you question what's important in life. And it makes me like think, you know, am I doing what's important in life? And I think for the most part I am. It's just feels kind of, I need better words. I need better words to talk about it. It makes you want to work harder, but not too hard at the same time, because you want to finish your projects before it's too late, right? On one end, and on the other end, it's like I need to spend quality time with the people that I love, and that's kind of, I think, where I've been at this past week, is, you know, wanting to really be mindful of my balance with my work and my family. I still don't know if I have just the right balance yet, but I think I'm getting a little bit closer. I think I'm at least learning to, when I'm working, focus on the more important stuff that I'm working on, instead of like trying to multitask or anything like that. That's a big one for me. Is just when I'm working, it's like, all right, what do I really need to do first? And so I did finish reading a book that I was trying to finish for the longest time, that I hadn't got around to finish, because it is pretty important to me to continue learning new stuff and growing and developing. So I did do that this week. I finished actually 2 books. I finished the ebook, and I finished, not an ebook, I keep calling it an ebook. I sound like I'm 90. I finished the audiobook, and I finished a regular turn page book. Hey, get out of there. Skipper, she's sticking in something. So I finished the audiobook, and I finished a page book. So I don't know, I've started to think lately, because we're already more than halfway finished with the year, and it's like, dang, I feel like I better get a hurry or move on if I want to actually, you know, complete my goals before the year is already over, because it's almost there. We're like 3/4 through the year almost. So it feels like, hey, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. That's my dog. I would call her my puppy, but she's so big now to be called a puppy. She looks like a little giant. I'll show you her before we wrap up. She looks like a little giant at this stage. She definitely doesn't look like a little baby that she used to look like anymore. Oh, but one good thing that happened since the last time I talked to you guys was I want to say confronted, but I feel like that's the wrong word. Approached. That's a much better word than confronted. Where did I even get that from? I was approached by the place that I've been assisting teaching comics, and asked if I wanted to also lead an animation class. So it's not, I haven't signed any paperwork or anything yet, so it's not official, but it's a likelihood that I'll be doing that in the fall as well. So that was pretty cool. What day did that happen? I think that was last Tuesday that I got that news. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know if I even had like, I wasn't sure if I had this meetup today or this it's a meetup and it's a Facebook and it's a YouTube. It's all of the above. But one of the things I was talking up with one of my members for Cartoon Arts Center, who's really been around for, you know, for a good amount of time and really been consistent. And we were talking about just adding more variety, and I don't know, at some point in the conversation I don't know, we weren't even talking about it that long, but it's like immediately I realized I can't do this on my own. I was thinking that like, oh man, I'm trying to do too much by myself. I think I really need help or support. I'm trying to accomplish too many things without, like, I don't know, mentorship and coaching first of all, and also like partners and volunteers and I don't know, all those things. But I think what I really need to focus on is just having one extra person around at a time, just like making sure I surround myself with the right people, with the right intentions, people that I can depend on and trust, and just one at a time, just actually reaching out and saying, hey, would you like to do this with me, or is this something that you're interested in? I think that's more along the lines of my goal, is just slowly approaching people one at a time when I find it like necessary, or like when I see like a need coming soon. It'd be nice to, you know, do it before, you know, I'm already like overwhelmed. But just before, like when I see something that's gonna be needed, just reaching out to someone that I know and saying, hey, this is something that you're interested in. I mean, I feel bad that I can't like necessarily pay anybody right now, but I mean, I guess I would need somebody equally as devoted as me, because I'm not getting paid right now either. So I mean, once we start to earn some income, then, you know, that's one thing. But right now, everything I'm doing is basically voluntary myself. I don't know. Are you interested in an opportunity to volunteer with a unofficial nonprofit Cartoon Arts Center to meet up? But also with my business, I think I need an extra hand. Because I be trying to do too much. Trying to do the most all by myself, and I don't think that's worked out for me so far. Woo! Hey puppy, don't turn on my lighting. Sorry. My dog just laid right down on my light cable. Hopefully it didn't put my light out too much, but I saw it dim down a little bit. What else? Oh yeah, I'm thinking of transitioning to completely no more live, or at least mostly no more live. I think I've been debating it for a while. Why did I feel like I was gonna say the Bibi? The Bibi it for a while? No, I think I've been debating it for a while, but I don't know. I think my videos, I don't know if they're like, let me know. Do you think I should just do like pre-recorded shorter videos? Of course, if I did pre-recorded videos, they're naturally going to be shorter. I'll be able to fast forward through a lot of the stuff that is probably less entertaining. And just focus on like maybe one aspect or one point at a time. I think I might do that. I think it might be a little bit more relevant for the moment. Let's see. I'm definitely willing to give it a shot, but I just wonder if it might be too time consuming without like having any sort of an editor to actually edit the videos, and I want to just record the videos and just have them sitting there, because I definitely have several videos that I've pre-recorded and I never took the time to edit them, and I don't want that to be the case where I just have unedited videos that don't do anything. So I'm trying to figure that part out. Currently, I also like thinking about ways that I can alter this whole neighborhood that my character is in. I definitely want to make it it's a little bit overly clean for me right now. I want to add some elements that show that we are not in... Hey, what are you doing? Sorry, that's my dog. I didn't know what that noise was, but she just digged in her toy box. She just digged in her toy box. I need to get like a snack or something because I feel hungry. I think I need to get a snack. I don't know if I can focus as much. I already took the doggy on 2 walks today, 20 minutes approximately each. That's reasonable, right, for a smallish dog. Alright, the book I finished reading was it's called The Complete Guide to Self-Publishing Comics, and it's written by Comfort Love and Adam. I don't remember Adam's last name, but Adam Withers. It's a good one. My husband gave it to me. I know he got it on Amazon because it came in an Amazon box. But it's a really good one. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot and got a whole lot more from it than I was expecting to get. Because when I first saw it, I was like, it's another self-help kind of. I don't want to say I was unappreciative. But I didn't know it was going to be as valuable as it was. It was really, really helpful for me. It gave me a lot of insight. And so I really, really appreciate the book. I'm not just saying that either. It was really helpful, really. So I would recommend it highly. The book I'm reading right now is a book that I bought several years ago that I had not taken the time to read yet, and that's why I wanted to finish one book so I can finish another, and then I have another book I want to read after that. But the one I'm reading right now is Steven Silver's book, and Steven Silver is the YouTuber, and he started his book, I remember when it was on Kickstarter, and I actually supported the book on Kickstarter, and I got a signed copy. I think I probably could have anyway because I was one of his students, but I got a signed copy and it was good, and I had it there for several years now, and I haven't read it yet, and I feel like a bum for not reading it yet, but it's now finally I'm at the stage where I'm ready to read it, and been reading it now for a few days, and I quite like it. It's called The Silver Way, if you haven't already heard of it. But I'm not sure where you can buy it, but I know that if you go to his website, Silvertoons, it's definitely going to be on there. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon. Might be though. Probably is. Everything's on Amazon. What isn't on Amazon? That's probably the bigger question. Nothing good. Just kidding. Collectibles. That's on my son. I only go on eBay if I need to get like something that's not being made anymore. I don't trust eBay as a particularly to get regular stuff. But I do, get some collectibles on there every once in a while. I did get my Mickey Mouse phone on there a few weeks ago, and I'm very happy with it because it's quite nice. I got a vintage 1970s rotary Mickey Mouse phone, and I love it. I love it, love it. It's a little bit dirty, but cleaned it up. I'm gonna clean it up again. And it's a good one. It was a good find. I had a dream. I know I go on tangents, I think. I bought the book because I had this dream about my grandfather, and like I was in his office again. Of course, this is the grandfather that I was just talking about that I lost in 2003. But I had a dream that I was in his office, and he was like, fine, and everything was normal as it was back then. And he had a Mickey Mouse phone in his office. I don't remember him. I don't know that he ever did have that phone in his office, but I feel like it's not the first time I had a dream about that. I definitely had at least one other dream where I saw the Mickey Mouse phone in his office. I remember he wasn't like a Disney fan or anything like that, but I do remember the first time I went to Disney World, I went with my grandparents because they lived in Florida. But I don't know. I just wanted to get the phone to remind me of my grandpa. It's sad. What else can I say? I'm also thirsty. Maybe I'll make some tea. I have some raspberry teas that I don't want to say stole, but kind of. No, you get free tea when you go to a hotel. So we got like some extra tea bags when we went to this hotel. The same time we picked up Skipper, my doggy, in Oklahoma. Got some tea bags, but I really am liking this. It's a cranberry apple tea. It's really good. Or cranberry, I feel like it's a cran raspberry, something like that. I feel like it has raspberry in it. I don't know. It's a Bigelow tea and it's really good. Alright, I guess this page is just about done. I just need to go ahead and do the clouds. I think we're done with that. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, it's starting to get cold. One second. I'm still here. Don't worry. I'm just getting a snack. I'm just quickly getting a snack, but I will return after this short commercial break. I It's not necessarily sponsored by anyone or anything other than my mother. And my impatience to wait for me to finish my video. So please stand by. And I will return with you. I apologize. I feel like it was like an hour that I was gone. It wasn't really, but it feels like it. Alright, so the next thing I need to get is my next page I'm going to be working on. And that's this one with Bibi. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use this page because the collar was a little bit wonky, but I did get a snack. I made a little mini vegan quesadilla. It's vegan because I use vegan cheese. I use a Daya provolone. It's so good. I know. It's not the most professional thing, but it's not the least either. Hey, Skippy. Get out of there, huh? Don't go down there. Don't go down there, Skippy. She's trying to dig under the desk. I'll be right back. Wait a minute. Also made myself a cup of tea, which is gonna have to cool down before I can actually drink it. But let's see where we can, how far we can get with this while we have time. Okay, I'll use my brush pen still. Oh, I don't think I did my patterns on the last one. I'll have to do that. Yeah, I didn't. Alright. Well, we're gonna work on this anyway. I'll get back to the other one later. It's funny, like when I was designing the grandma, Bibi, which is how you say grandma in Swahili. I don't know, I wasn't sure like how I was gonna which direction I was necessarily going to go with her, until I saw this one. I was looking up all these different pictures. I knew right away that there was going to be this older grandma that was living with them, who was really not able to care for herself, but I don't know if I knew like how important she was going to be to the story. But I think as I've gone on, and since the character design phase and actually into the storytelling, she's become more and more prevalent. She doesn't use, you know, many words. She's very, very, when I first originally was writing the story, she didn't speak at all. But as I've, you know, learned more about dementia, my own grandmother has dementia, and just realizing, you know, it's not that she's not going to speak, but what she speaks about, the timing, all of that is not necessarily going to be logical or sensical. She may not have much to say, but I make it so, at least in my goal is to make it so that the few words that she says are words of importance, things that matter, or that, you know, maybe not as obvious right away, but mean something. So that was my sort of a take with Bibi, the grandma. I guess I got some sort of an update. I don't know what for, but probably another reminder that I need to do something. Something or the other at some point in time. And do I always flip the paper around like this? I don't know, do I? I think sometimes. There's always like that sweet spot of an angle you can get. So I try to angle my paper, my canvas, or whatever in a way that lets me do that. But I never do that on a Cintiq, or I never like flip my Cintiq around, even though it has like that swivel option. I don't swivel it. Listen, I don't know why. I swivel everything else. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like necessary for some reason when I'm working on a Cintiq. I zoom in and out a lot, regardless, I think. I think we kind of do zoom in when we're, even though we're working on paper, because we like focus in on such an area, like it is zoomed in, even though it's not, you know. We focus in on details. I made these sort of squiggly lines to show that she's struggling to stand. Hopefully it comes across as that. I was worried if it wouldn't come across that way, so hopefully it does. I picked the colors of her quite later. I used for most of my characters different animals in the region as inspiration for the coloring on their clothes. Oh no, did I just spittle? Gross. Sorry. I think I just slightly spittled on my paper, but it's alright. It happens, okay? It happens to everyone. Hopefully I'm not flipping it around so much that it feels like the details are getting lost to you. But I am working on gradually getting back to right side up. I just want you to be able to see the paper. I think I swivel it more so you can, even more than I normally would, just so that I'm not drawing like out of the camera's viewpoint. So let's see. Ankle. Done with this brush. Go in with her face. I am going to go in with the colors again and darken up or give some more color to her skin tone if any other areas need it. I'm wondering if I should even put the glaze, like a shine on her eye, because her eyes are meant to be like cataract. She's actually blind, so she has cataracts, but I don't know. We should do a little bit more study on cataracts and see. I was inspired to give her the cataracts because I would see so many people actually in my grandparents' church that had cataracts, and you would see these elderly black people with like blue glazed eyes, and it was always stood out to me. My grandfather was a reverend for many years, and even after he retired he would still like volunteer talks at the church, or sermon at the church. So I've had gone with them so many times and just remember just the feeling of seeing people with that look in their eyes, with that glazed over appearance in their eyes, that blue glaze. Alright, let's see. I'm going with the brown brush. Definitely takes a lot less time to do a page when there's like one image on the page, like this one, but I use it very rarely in this. I don't use it hardly at all, and it's because like I save it for things that are more significant. Like I was going to originally make this a smaller panel, but I realized later that I needed to make it bigger, just sort of like as a show of her importance in the story. I don't know where in the heck I got this idea for this humongous chair. I think honestly it was inspired by those huge chairs that everyone won't know about this, but my people will know. New York people will know. Immigrant people will know. Even though it's not the same material, everyone, I think, Caribbean people, island people, whenever someone had like a birthday celebration or even a baby shower, they had the big like Wiccan chair. It's like ridiculously big, and it's for like, you know, the person of honor, I guess, in the party, whether it's their baby shower or it's their birthday party. This one Wiccan chair, and it's humongous. I think that's where I was inspired by it, but also just kind of probably my grandparents' furniture that they used to have with these lion legs. I don't know, it's so weird where I get my ideas from, or where ideas come from for prop designs and things like that. As these people are not like in a wealthy neighborhood at all by any means. It's by all means the ghetto, but I wanted to give them this, maybe like, it's a thing too, like if you ever go to someone's house, I mean I grew up in Brooklyn, so I've been to all types of houses, but there's sometimes when you go to houses that are in like a poor neighborhood or like from an immigrant family that doesn't have a lot, and they get like a piece of furniture that they really love, and sometimes they just have like one signature piece that's like, you know, like the centerpiece. So that's kind of what this is too. It's like the centerpiece of the home, which has turned into Grandma's chair, or Bibi's chair, I should say. I think that's kind of where it is. It seems a little bit like first like, oh, but if you've been to like someone's house and they're an immigrant family, they might have like one like really loud piece of furniture, as in the big birthday or baby shower chair. Sometimes people rent it just for like the party. So it's like a formal version of that. In my opinion, I think I will go ahead and add a little bit of, if you've ever been to the Caribbean too, and different parts of Africa have this too, because I think that's where it's originally inspired from, this type of windows where it's like a design where you keep the window, you know, closed enough that it protects you from break-ins, but it has like these holes, and sometimes they're in different patterns and things like that to allow the air to come in, because you never really have like, it's never really going to be cold outside. I mean, you do have to think about the rain season, but there's a lot of structures that have like these type of windows that just kind of allow for you to see have these holes in them for the air to come through. Alrighty, so we're just about done with this page as well, but I'm going to add some color to her skin. So I feel like it needs it. So I will go around and do my edges. When I'm retouching like around the color, sometimes I'll do it first, but I think more often I've been just saving that for last. It doesn't hurt the ink at all when I come back in, because it's very light whenever I'm coming back in with some more watercolor. I don't go heavy on it because I've already have the base color there. I'm just kind of reinforcing that color a little bit, so it's not a lot of paint. I feel like this one got a little bit scrunchy. There, maybe I just needed to move it around a bit. Feels better. Feels better. So I'm going to grab some color. I don't know if I need to. I think I'm going to switch on my water really quickly, just because I don't want to paint with old water. It's just what I have in my jars right now. Just grab some new water. Bibi. Bibi. Hi, Bibi. Sorry, this is brush water. Alright, so I'm gonna grab my brush now, and actually I need to refill my paint. With some water. Okay. Alright, let me get my color. Actually, this is not a color I need. Now that I think about it, I need to go to my other palette. I have more than one palette. 3 actually. Sorry, this part a little bit tedious. Hopefully this paint has not gone down already because I forgot to put the cover on it. Let's see if I can test it for you. I'll just keep like some scrap watercolor paper so I can test out my paint before I use it. No, it's fine. Just gotta mix it up a little bit. Parts of it can be chunky. It can get chunky sometimes, especially like different brands, depending on how good it is, or different colors. Sometimes get chunkier than others. I don't know why that is. Maybe I can even leave a little part of her face. The part that's more closer to the window, unpainted. That will give it like almost like a glow, like her face is being lit by the window, which should be. Still wanna make it look sort of. His hand will be pretty much in the dark. I gotta be careful with her because the color I'm using, I like the color, but it can look a little bit, I don't know, not deep, like not saturated enough or lifeless, which is partially why I picked it, but at the same time I have to like be cautious not to make it too lifeless, to make her look like she's already like a dead body or something, which is not what I'm looking for. So I might have to at some parts just add in a little bit of color into her, like the warmer parts of her skin, cheeks, ears. Well, her ears don't really show, but cheeks, hands, feet, lips. Might need to go in and add a little bit, so a little bit more to that. But I'm not dissatisfied with this at all so far. It's alright. It's coming along alright. I did the highlight originally on the wrong side of her eye. The highlight should be facing the direct light. There. That's better. That's actually pretty nice. I think I like that. The light looks extreme. You can see where it's coming from. She's still like in the shadows, but not completely. I think I kind of dig that actually. More than I thought I would. It looks better on screen. It looks better on screen than in real life. I don't know. But I think I kind of dig that. It definitely looks better like with the ink and the painting touch-ups than it did with just the paint alone. I think definitely adding the line and, you know, increasing those spots where she has color and light, that definitely helps quite a bit. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna get ready to close up, so let's turn it off. Hopefully you guys can actually see me slightly clear. A little bit clear, hopefully. Let's see if I can adjust it. That's better, I think, hopefully. Alright, well, thank you so much for tuning in with me for, I was going to say studying the masters, making a graphic novel, Jaydi's story. This is my pride and joy. I keep on like beating myself up for not being finished with it yet, but it's, like I told you, man, it's been a hard week with the loss and everything, but I have to continue to push myself to like make sure that I get things done, and I definitely can and have struggled with procrastination. And if you have too, then just know that you're not alone, and even like me deals with it too. So I think you can kind of deal with that at any phase in your career. It's just a matter of keep on going. I missed a day, I'm going to keep on going. I missed a week, I'm going to keep on going. There's been times where I've really embarrassingly missed a month, and despite like whatever was going on, like, you know, moving and all kinds of stuff, like in my mind for what I want to achieve, it's still like, you know, that is like totally unacceptable to miss a whole month of work. Imagine you would get fired. But that's kind of what it is when you work for yourself, especially when you're still trying to reach the threshold, when you're going uphill to try and reach that point of where you want your career to be. And I think I'm up still like looking up, and it's like the light is shining bright. It's like and I'm sweaty and, you know, ran out of water way back there. If you don't get this analogy, then go hiking. But I feel like that's how I feel like I'm going uphill, and I can see the top. It's still like way up there, but I'm tired. But I still have that dedication in myself to just keep going and just keep going and just keep going. And that's what I'm going to keep doing, and that's what I'm going to keep sharing with you. Whether or not one person watches or 1,000 people watch, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to use my damn tiny little platform. If this is all I got, well then so be it. If one person watches and likes it, then that's good for me. That's better than me just keeping it completely to myself and not growing as a person and as an artist, which is really my goal here, is to grow myself and to not be shy about sharing my art, and to not be reserved about talking to you about my process. So I hope it's helpful. I want it to be helpful. If you have comments or suggestions, leave it in the comments. Let me know. I'm trying to figure it out, just trying to figure it out. I'm learning little things as I go, reading books and things like that, but it's always faster and I think easier for everyone if it becomes a conversation. So hopefully it can become more of a two-way conversation where we can talk about the process and talk about what is most helpful for you, for me to talk about, and for what's most helpful for you, for me to show you. Okay? And thank you so much. If you've watched this to this part, then thank you like super much. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you so much. And be grateful, live balanced, be yourself, and finish your projects. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.